Welcome to Match Fishing Masterclass. You join me today at Bonehill Mill Fishery in Tamworth for a live match. We've drew on Dales Lake peg 23, which I'm happy with, to be honest. It's an end peg today. You've got some room to our left and there's a few fish cruising about, so I quite fancy it. The rigs today that I've set up, or the approach, I'm going to keep it dead simple, and it's going to be an all-out pole attack. So the rigs themselves, I've got two shallow rigs set up. Both of them are Drennan crystal floats, a 0.3 and a 0.4. The only difference is this one has got about 3.5 to 4 foot of line on, and this one has got around 5 foot of line on. The difference is, if the fish are cagey, we can go onto that longer line rig and keep the pole away from them, and hopefully that'll catch me a few early fish. Next, we've got just a rig to fish below the shallow line. Basically, it's a 0.3 carb pellet from Dot and Down, and this is, like I just said, to fish on the bottom underneath that shallow line. We've just got one more rig set up, and this is a power margin from Dot and Down. That's the fish on a top kit down the left hand side, a bit later in the day if we need to catch some edge fish. But apart from that, that's basically it. That rig to fish long on the deck is exactly the same depth as the short line, so we've got that if we need to. But the baits today, dead simple. We've just got 4mm fishery pellets, 6mm fishery pellets, and we've got some 8s as well. The 8s are for fishing down the edge, so I've got some micros, and these are to draw the fish into the peg, but then I want to switch them to bigger pellets to stop the fish messing around once they come into the peg, really. I just want to nail them on the bottom and catch them if I can catch them. We've just got some tiger nut oil, and this is for putting onto the pellets that we're going to feed on the bottom, out on the long pole, because fishery pellets have a tendency to float. If you're going to shallow fish, then this is good. However, if you want to fish on the bottom, you need to put something on them pellets to make them sink down to the bottom. That tiger nut oil is just my favourite personally. You can use any kind of like fish oil, but that's the all in. So let's get out and try and mug us some fish. Just going to start on the mugging rig, and hopefully we can get a few on that. Like I said earlier, we're just going to fish Dynamite 6mm Robin Red pellet on the hook. Can't see any at the moment within pole range, so I'm just going to get my pole ready for when we do see one. With this kind of fishing, if you can't see because of the water, what you can do is stand up. So just seeing a fish then. I'm just going to stand up, have a quick look, see if I can see any. Obviously, if you're going to do this, you need to make sure fishery rules allow. And there you go. Took a little while then to encourage one to have it, and they're just sitting off the back of the pole line. big fish this is, I think. He's pulling anyway. He's not happy. That's not too big. It's a mirror about £6. There you go. Okay, we've had like 15 minutes mugging now. It's quite obvious that the fish are really, really spooky. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start feeding the shallow line. Just with 4mm pellets. Not put any of the oil on them, because I want some of them basically to float and then go down. Going to stick with this longer line for now. Just going to keep flicking it into where I'm feeding. And hopefully some of them muggers drift into the feed. And if they don't, the ones around it I can just flick my rig at. Oh, I like that one. That was just off the right hand side of the feed then. Flicked it at him and he absolutely nailed it. Comment. Probably £8. Hopefully that proves that they aren't scared of the feed. So when I was feeding then, that one was literally probably a metre away from the feed. Weren't actually in the feed, but it come to have a look kind of thing. Such an active way of fishing. There's just a couple over to the left in the dark water now. Go over there and try and nick on at them. Nearly. It's like the show. Oh yes, second time. That's just, see, I didn't see. Like I seen that fish pop up and then he disappeared, but I still chucked to him, and I had like a little indication. Struck at it, nothing. Had another go at him, even though I couldn't see it. And the elastic's come flying out. Absolutely brilliant. Still feeding that shallow line. That fish is rolling on top of where I'm feeding now. It's not my favourite way of fishing, mugging, but it's so exciting to see the fish like flick at it, and then once that float goes under, so good. Well, it's good if you're on them. It's emotional if you're not and someone else is. Ugh. Such good fun. It's another £7. Right. What we'll do now, just go out into that line where we've been feeding. Just have a look on there. eventually some fish will start to feed on that. But it's a case you just keep feeding it and just keep trying to nick some of these muggers. That sun's gone away now, so that shadow on my pole has pretty much disappeared. I can actually slap it over the way I like to now. We're about an hour and a half in now. And it's just steady, it's not fantastic. Just hooked this one in my feed, but the rig was just hanging there. Smaller fish, and that's typical of what you'll catch actually inside your feed. Muggers seem to be a lot bigger fish, they're a lot wiser, and that's why they're like just cruising about not feeding. But these smaller fish, they need to feed. That's why you catch them inside your feed. Still fishing one of them robin red pellets. Tried a normal pellet and can't seem to get a fish to take it. I'm just gonna have a go on this deck rig. So on that shallow line, I weren't really getting many indications, to be honest, telling me. But I could see the odd fish coming shallow. Let's just have a look. Been feeding that for a while, so there should be some fish feeding there. This time what I'm going to do, just going to put some of these 4mm into a tub there. Just get that tiger nut oil. Just give them a little blast. Not too much. Don't need a little bit. Just give them a little. Little coating of that. There you go. There's a fish. Going to give them half a poucher of them pellets with that tiger nut oil on, because they'll go straight down to the bottom. So there's a lot smaller fish. Yeah, a little ghoster. Nailed right in the bottom lip, so I know he's feeding hard on the bottom. When I am like doing this, I'll still be looking out for muggers. It only takes like 10 seconds to whiz out there and try and nick one if I can see one. I can see one right now, ghosty, but it's just a bit too far. Going to give that another half a pouch of pellets. Because I'm fishing on the bottom, I'm feeding it totally different. So with shallow fishing, you're feeding like little and often. But with this long pole, it's totally different. You're giving them like a bigger quantity of pellets but less often. So like when you ship out half a pouch of pellets and then try and get your bite. When you do hook a fish, another half a pouch of pellets. And you're like trying to just build your peg. Constantly like lifting and dropping. So I had that one quick fish on that, but certainly not the best. Just going to pick that mugging rig back up. Let's go back on that because it's obviously not many fish feeding. the best part of my peg for the mugging was around there, and now the sun's come behind me. That's all shade now. I can't really see them. Just had one there, just hanging it in my feed. Oh, it's not happy. For anyone that's interested, the elastic that I'm using for this is just a green Vespi. It's like a 12 to 14. It's either foul hooked or big fish. Here it comes. Yeah, big fish. Big comment. Lovely. Right in the corner of the mouth. Perfect. Fish just swirled down the edge. Another one. There we go. Managed to nab one on the shallow line. Just seen a full tail come out right next to my float. Right, I'm going to give that a little break. I'm going to have a look on the short line. Been feeding that now for about 20 minutes. So hopefully, I might be able to nick one. Just do a few more of them oiled up pellets. There you go. I get asked all the time how I'm getting on with my Vespi puller kits. So I've done a video on how to fit these side pullers from Vespi. And this is what I'm using right now. So the question is, are they strong enough? Well, you've seen the size of the fish I'm catching. So I'd say they are quite up to the job. Fish are definitely coming closer in now. Getting signs of fish on my short line and down the edge. going to give this another minute in the short line. Then I'm going to have a look down the edge. It's incredibly difficult to get a bite. A fish are definitely coming into the feed. I'm getting indications, but they just will not have the upbite. Yeah, I'm going to have a look down the edge. Still keep feeding my short line. There you go. Okay, now I've hooked one. All I'm going to do, just feed like 5 8mm pellets. A few more down there. Need a bigger net. There we go. That was in the net. Put a few more down there. Oh. They're the best ones when the tails hang out. Come on. Scored a job. He's £11. Pellets. I've just seen another swirl, so hopefully I can go back in and get another one pretty quick. whilst I'm getting fish in my peg like this, because I'm seeing indications of fish there, I wouldn't put any micros in or any ground bait or anything like that whilst the fish are coming in. I'd try and stick to big baits like 8mm, 6mm pellets, because the fish are going to cause you less problems then. Every now and again, throw 3 or 4 8mm pellets in. If you can't get any fish in your peg, like if I weren't getting any indications now, I was struggling to get any fish there, I would give them just a little ball of micros. There you go. As he leaves the peg. A few 8mm. The fish isn't running, but I'm just putting my number 5 on, just in case it does. That way I'm prepared then. All I'm going to do now is just take it off and just rest it there, just so it's ready. A few more pellets. I'm getting cooked. Another common. Not as big this time. This one's probably £7. Oh. It's a fish. As soon as we've gone back on it, feels like a small fish, to be honest. There's no signs of any fish there then. Float's just buried. Definitely feels like a smaller fish. Wrong. Just a mirror. The commons tend to fight a lot harder here than the mirrors. This big mirror as well. Problem with getting them in so quick, how lively they are in the net. £9. No signs of that fish then at all. Keeping my top keep right into the bank. So these fish are ever so clever here. Lovely. This one feels like a common. Right down the edge, down there. Big mirror. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Is it a snag there or something? Oh, he's not good. Just snagged me on something down the edge then. That's nice when you're playing a fish and you can see others feeding there. That's how you want it, really. This fish thinks it's a bloody chub. For these snags. There we go. Nice big fish. Going to check my line because he had me in that snag down there. Seems alright. foul looked. Shouldn't have struck at that really. Okay, seems to be happening. If I put some, I've just done it there, I put some micros in and I missed 3 bites straight away. And they seem like proper bites, so what I'm going to do, just going to put on Matrix Flexi Pot. Just going to put that in, it's nice and slow. And I'm going to put my 8mm pellet right over the top of it. Just see what happens then. We've only got 15 minutes left anyway. Fish just spooked out the peg now. So that fish spooking would have washed all them micros everywhere, so I'm just going to fill it up again. Literally, watch the micros down. Just lower the pellet right on top. There we go. Nice. Oh, that's a proper fat one. Right on the top lip. We'll try it again. All out! Okay, that's the all out. I will get some gear packed up and we'll see how we've got on when the scales come round. Yeah, I can't see me having much more than 110 like. Yeah. So what was the first one? 53.15?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've caught 2 fish on the bottom, and that ghost was one of them.
Normally you catch it, don't you?
Yeah. I've caught two fish feeding pellets long line.
How done, mate? You fished for about fucking 10 bucks.
I know. I tell you what, my guessing's not wrong though.
Got 107, mate.
110 I reckon.
56.4.
Ah, I said 110, didn't I? I don't mess about, I was 3 outside. Cheers, bud.
You're all gone and sat behind Dale and tell him that.
Yeah, sound, cheers, thank you. So we've come to the end of the match, and I've absolutely loved my day's fishing. I've weighed in 110 pound 3 ounce, which has framed up unbelievably. And yeah, I'm really chuffed on my first visit back to pick up some money. Not been here for 5 or 6 weeks, so it's been really nice to be back. But what's really surprised me is we didn't really catch on the bottom feeding. I thought we was going to catch some fish on that long pole and short pole, but we've caught them all pretty much shallow and down the edge. But one thing I'll be doing tonight is getting some more of that red Vespi in my top kits, because that was absolutely lovely down the edge. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.